What's up, Cameron?
Cool.
Long time no see, man.
Hey,
How's
dude.
everything going?
Yeah, it's been forever. I feel like it's been like at least 5 years or probably longer than that.
Dude, I think it's been a long time. I feel like the last time I saw you might have been like when we were both like in high school or something,
Yeah, I think,
maybe longer. I don't know.
dude, you remember? I think the last time honestly was do you remember Monica, my fiance?
Yeah. Oh, you're
I
engaged
think,
now? Congrats.
yeah, thank you. But
Yeah.
it was I think it was at Kamki High School. I wanted you to meet her. It was like a
Mm.
very long time ago, but I think that might have been the last time. And then might have exchanged some text here and there or
Yeah, yeah.
something, but that was probably the last time we saw each other in person.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, well, I mean, I'm sure it happens to like everybody, right? Like you spend like, 12 plus years, with your like elementary school classmates or whatnot, playing sports and everything. Then all of a sudden college hits and, you kind of lose contact with a lot of people.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's sad,
Cause,
right? But
oh, I mean, I think
what
it's
can you do?
life.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. Like I think it's fine. It's kind of fun, like where you can just like in a sense like do your own thing and then you come back after all these years and it's like, oh, things are still like, you know, pretty much almost
Yeah,
like how they left off. But
yeah.
yeah, it's been crazy because I feel like growing up, like, you're one of my best friends growing up, which was like
Oh,
crazy with all the Maple
same.
Story and
Yeah, same for you,
basketball.
man. That
Yeah,
was
it was crazy like back then, like looking back, like wow, life is so different now. Like,
yeah. It's like
yeah.
I have to actually responsibilities now we have.
Yeah.
It's like can't just play video games and
Uh,
shit. That was
I
so
mean,
much fun, dude. Back in the
yeah.
day.
What are you doing nowadays?
Yeah, so I'm a software engineer now. So I guess I can go back. So I went after high school. I went up to Oregon for I went to University of Portland for
Mm,
I went for sociology actually. But then I kind of realized my senior year I was like, oh, I can't really do much with this, can I? Or I needed a job and stuff. So I always wanted to do computer science.
mm,
So I looked at Portland State and they had like a really nice like program where it was a post back, so I could just go right into it. Didn't have to do all the other like general requirement classes, everything. Just go straight CS.
mm,
So I did that. Got a couple internships. One was at Multnomah County, which is like the main county in Portland,
mm.
and they rehired me as a contractor just for some web development stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been great so far. I have a job working from home currently still,
Hmm.
so it's awesome.
Did
Can't
you
complain.
start did you start your job during the pandemic or was it before or like pre-pandemic?
Oh, it was right before. So it was actually
Oh,
January 2020. I started like the second day of the new year.
wow.
And then, yeah, and then, I was getting used to it, like going into the office every day, that
Hmm.
like 9 to 5 kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm working from home from now. And, I just loved
Yeah.
it. Like, cause like I wanted to work there so bad because the manager there lets his workers like do like they can work from home 1 day a week. So I was like, oh,
Mm.
that sounds so nice. I want to do that. And then
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I guess I'm working from home every day. And I was like, I love it.
So like one day a week turned into 5 days a week, that
Yeah.
type of deal. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think like that's like one really cool thing, or like, one, I don't care, not necessarily cool thing, but one like thing that's going to be like different moving forward. Like people are going to start working from home more often.
Mm,
Like, yeah, it's like, it's
yeah.
crazy that there's a lot of jobs where it's like, maybe, we don't need people to be coming in physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then,
I think
but Zoom, I'm so over Zoom meetings, dude. Like, which is kind of ironic that we're like talking over Zoom now. But I mean, the goal for me is like eventually have like in person like podcasts. But like as of late, it's been kind of hard for me to like find guests, with bookings and everything. Like people are busy and whatnot.
mm,
Like I
hmm.
can honestly say I've gotten rejected by more guests than girls in my lifetime, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, because I feel like if I got rejected by more girls and like guests, like or people that I've tried to get on, like yeah, that'd be pretty awkward. But yeah, but like a plan that I had moving forward was like I might transition this into more of like a solo podcast. I don't know if you listen to many podcasts or anything. Do you listen to any podcasts?
I, oh, yeah, I listened to a few. Haven't as much, but yeah, I was
Uh,
like, I forget what some of them are. Like I listen to the tripod, or is it like Try Guys podcast every once in a while. I know my fiance really likes that one, so there's some others. I listen to like the first couple of yours too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one? What's your favorite episode?
Honestly, I like that first one because it was so real.
Oh, the
You know,
very
like
first, the one that was
the
3 hours
very first.
long. Did you sit through all
Yeah.
3 hours of it?
No, I think. I mean, I think I jumped around, dude. That was
Oh,
three
okay.
hours. That's why I was like, it was a little
No,
long.
no, like yeah, that was a very long one, but like that one was fun because like it it didn't feel like 3 hours. Like, you know, when you're having like a good conversation with somebody, like time just flies really fast and you don't realize, oh shoot, like 3 hours went by.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then like the comments I got a lot for those ones, like, oh, it was like very funny. There was like a lot of like funny moments and everything. A lot of memes and like merch potential. I don't know. That's like just what people have told me. But yeah, I mean, it'd be, I don't know. I like having conversations like that where you're kind of just like, you know, hanging out and stuff. But I also like the other conversations that I have where like I'm not necessarily friends with the people that I have on, but I think they're doing something interesting or different that I want to learn more
Mm.
about. Yeah,
Hmm.
like I don't know, like I mean, I'm still in school, but I feel like having conversations with people that are like more knowledgeable about certain subjects is like a great way to learn things versus like traditional like education.
Yeah, especially
I
for
don't
a
know.
podcast, right? I mean, that's such a good
Yeah,
topic for you to talk about and stuff.
yeah, totally. And then it's
Oh,
like,
can you give me 1 second? Sorry, I gotta let my dog out really
yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah,
He's
that's
he's
fine.
crying real quick. Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
What were
So
you saying?
what kind of dog do you have?
Oh, it's a so we don't really know. So we rescue. It's from a rescue, but they told us
Oh,
it was part poodle, part like some sort of terrier. But
oh,
even then, we don't really know because he looks like a schnauzer, kind of like maybe a Shih Tzu
mm,
too. So we've
mm-hmm.
been trying to. We're gonna do the what's that DNA test
I
one
didn't know
day.
they made DNA tests for dogs.
Yeah, they actually do. I mean, it's like $100 too, so it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, like isn't like 23andMe like $100 or something like that too? Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
So you're
Like,
paying for that pretty much.
yeah.
But I guess it's kind of cool if you don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever
So
taken one of those DNA tests for yourself?
no, not yet. Have you?
Um, I'd be interested, but I feel like I know what I am.
Yeah.
The
What were you? You're a Japanese
Japanese Filipino.
Filipino. Okay.
Yeah. At least that's what I'm told growing up. You never know with all these DNA tests, you know, where you're
Right.
like, you know, 0.1% of something else or something, you know. But I mean, like, I would take one of those like tests. It's just that like I don't know how safe the data is. Like
Oh.
are you familiar with how they caught the Golden State Killer?
Uh-uh.
So
No.
they actually caught him because enough of his relatives took like a 23andMe.
Oh, it's
And then
crazy.
from that database, they were able to use like, you know, people's DNA to backtrack and be like, oh, like the Golden State Killer's in this family and in this generation. And they were able to single out that person. But I think that person was either deceased or like really old. So they kind of just like,
Oh,
yeah.
just let it be.
But it's just crazy because
That's
it's like,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I already have, they say all you really need is two people in your like, you know, in your family, not necessarily immediate family, but it could be like your first cousins, and then more or less they already can like, you know, find your DNA. So I'm like,
Hmm.
which is crazy. So
Oh.
I have like a crazy story about 23andMe. So
Yeah, go for it.
last year one of my cousins took a 23andMe because like he wanted to do it for like scholarship purposes to see if he was like Native American or something.
Okay.
And then like so he took the 23andMe, and then like it generates like a family tree. It tells you, oh, other people that may have taken, you know, the test that you might be related to. And in that entire time, like there was this one guy that said that we're related to, and nobody knew who that guy was.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And then
That
it
is
and it turns out, like, I hope my family doesn't roast me about this, or like I don't get in trouble for sharing like the story or anything. But like it turns out that my grandmother, before she met my grandpa, had a kid. And then
oh.
like put that kid up for adoption, and then that person wanted to like find like, oh, who his like, you know, birth family is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then from that alone he was able to like find us. And then
That's
so I have like a half uncle that was, I guess, like we found out about through 23andMe.
That's insane. What?
Yeah, it was bizarre. So I don't know,
What?
like the joke I was like thinking about was like, oh, to my dad, like, how does it feel to not be the oldest child anymore? Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought it was wild because like I would have, I don't know, like I don't think you know my grandmother or anything, but like she used to be like super like religious, like super like Christian and everything. Like I would have never thought that she would have had like a life like that before meeting my grandpa. But life's
Yeah,
full of surprises, I guess.
you never know. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so crazy though, because you always hear about that like happening to people, or like, you hear
yeah,
stories like that, but I've never heard of like someone I actually knew
yeah.
had that
It
happen.
was crazy. It was like crazy.
Wow.
Like I remember like we had like a family like sit down and like they were telling it to us. And I was like thinking, oh, I thought it was gonna be something way worse or something. Like I was almost like relieved that I was like, oh, that's it. Like, oh, that's like nothing to really worry about or
Yeah.
anything. Like,
Oh,
because
thank God. Yeah.
they made it seem like, oh my God, like we really need to tell you guys something like serious. I'm like, that's not that serious. Like I think it definitely matters more to like, my dad and like his siblings more than, anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, now we have a half sibling. And
Yeah,
versus like us, it's like, oh, I guess we have a half uncle. Like, cool. I don't know. It doesn't change anything to me. I think
yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
fun fact. Yeah.
You just see him at a family party maybe once in a while, but that would be about it.
I don't I don't think I mean, he's like obviously like different like grandfather and everything, right? Or different father than like, my dad and like his siblings and everything. But like, yeah, it's just crazy. But I think they're planning to meet like sometime this year in person, or
Oh, okay.
they might have already met. Like he might have already met like my dad and his siblings already. I'm not quite sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just a wild situation.
yeah.
Like I still
20,
can't.
that's
Sorry, what's that?
nuts. Oh, I was just
Yeah.
saying that's crazy. Like 23andMe is it's just
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just insane how it does that. Like I still don't understand like the technology behind it either. How they like take
Well,
something and just like get your ancestry and stuff.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how it's done, but I'm assuming it's like you just provide them with like a DNA sample, and they probably use like PCR or something to like figure out what the like sequence is, and then from there they
Oh,
probably. Yeah.
dang.
Very. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm
That is
assuming.
nuts.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's how they do it. I mean, I could be wrong. Like, I could look it up right now too. But
Okay, so what are you doing right now? You said you're
well,
still in school, right?
yeah. So right now, like, I'm at the tail end of grad school. I'm finishing a master's in cell molecular bio
Oh,
with like
nice.
specialization in neuroscience.
Okay.
So like in like the research I was working on was on Alzheimer's disease. And then the lab that I'm working in identified this like peptide sequence where we have evidence that it prevents uh, Alzheimer's like, the Alzheimer's disease like, I guess like pathologies and like and whatnot in a mouse model. So like, yeah, we're in a sense able to show that we can, you know, quote unquote cure Alzheimer's in a mouse.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
so that'd be
But
amazing.
yeah, but the weird thing about like biomedical like science and research is like we can pretty much cure any disease like in a mouse like model, but it rarely translates or like transfers to like humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
like
that.
yeah, it's crazy. Like um one of the last like articles I read was like an antibody therapy for Alzheimer's disease. And it's like I thought there was already that techniques used for Alzheimer's in humans, and I don't think that got past like clinical trials because like there were too many side effects.
Mm.
That's usually what happens. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
So
yeah,
it sounds
that's
like you're liking it though. Like, so
um
like that's kind of like the career path would be some sort of like scientist research kind of thing.
oh well I honestly, like I see a lot of value in it, but I'm not as passionate about it as the people that I'm working with.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, like I mean, I want to say it like as nicely as possible because like I respect everybody in the field. Like it's something that's like very valuable in society. It's just that I don't think it's necessarily for me like long term. Yeah, I have to be careful because like my lab mates like listen to this too. I think my PI might be listening to this too.
What is PI?
Your principal investigator, so like
Oh,
the
okay.
PhD, like so in a publication, like the last author in like the journal article.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? I'm trying to get at, like, what is your dream job?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
guess.
for the longest time, like I've been like pre-med, like that's in a sense kind of why I went to Creighton. Like, well, I wanted to go to Creighton because I just wanted to get away, and that was like the only school that I applied to. Like, didn't even apply to UH or KCC or anything. I was just like, nope,
That's
getting away from
insane.
here. Yeah, yeah. I tell that to people and they're like, wow, you must have been either really confident or really stupid. I'm like, yeah, it's probably the latter.
I mean, I did the same thing. I just applied for UP and UH, and that was it. I was like,
oh, nice.
If both of those rejected me, I was like, oh,
yeah.
gonna work it somewhere else.
Why did you want to move to Oregon?
Oh, I kind of like similar to you, right? We were all stuck on that rock for so long.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice up here.
Yeah, sorry. I know I'm all over the place and everything. Like,
oh no, you're good. You're good. We have so much to talk about.
Yeah, I just worked out, so like I'm kind of like still jittery from the pre-workout and everything. But yeah, so I've been like pre-med this entire time. Graduated from Creighton with a biology degree. I applied to a master's program at Creighton, but I got rejected, and then I had like an awkward time, or like I wasn't really doing much. I was working at Shurikia for a little while as like a bar supervisor, and then after that, I went to the state hospital in Kaneohe.
Okay.
So at the psychiatric hospital, I worked there, and then at the same time, I started grad school. So that for that first year, yeah, I was working full time and doing grad school for like full time, and that was a struggle.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
Yeah, then I was fortunate to get a grad assistantship. But unfortunately, I had to leave that job, for time, and like you can't have two state positions at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like since that was with the state, and grad assistantship is with the state, like yeah, I only could have one position, and then yeah, I've just been doing this since, and now just finishing up the like loose ends on my thesis, and hope to defend soon. Supposed to get it in a week.
It's
If not,
so
yeah, if not, then I guess I'll go into the summer. But it's like I'm not doing much other than that, and like I have like friends that'll hire me for like odd jobs, like hey, come help me with this and I'll pay you. I'm like, okay, sure, almost like gig work, kind of like, but it's not nothing really like consistent, because it's like just like a really awkward time in life for everybody.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So there's that. I wanted to apply to like med school this year, but the problem that I have right now is there's no available dates in Hawaii for the MCAT. So which would mean that I would have to like probably fly somewhere else to take it.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah, and that's like
That doesn't sound worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. Another thing I was thinking about too, like I've been, in a sense, like trying to be more creative, starting with this podcast and everything. So like, I don't know. I've been kind of interested in wanting to try like stand-up comedy or something.
Oh, okay.
Which is like,
yeah, I feel like that would match. I mean, it's kind of like the podcast. You just got to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like anything, like podcasting is just like conversating, really. And like I'm sure stand-up is like a skill like anything else. Yeah, like I've realized in life, like you can get good at almost anything if you spend enough time on it and you enough dedication and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just like being in like a hard science, like everything's so like rigid, like you don't really have room to express your creative side. It's like, oh, here's like a pathway, memorize it, and like that's it. And then like for like research, it's like, okay, here's a pathway. What can we manipulate to prevent a disease state or something like along those lines?
Oh, okay. So there's not much like branching out or anything crazy like that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure like, the scientific community will probably roast me for it. But I mean, yeah, in my opinion, it's not the type of creativity that like I want to try to like enrich or like or like use. Like it's just weird like having I mean, it's just weird now that like I'm trying to, do something a little more artsy or creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's like, but it's fun to me. It's like something new. Like what I've noticed for me is like I like trying new things. So
Mhm.
like, yeah, like the reason why we started talking like this time around was because I think I posted like a golf video. So that's
Yeah.
been like the
Oh.
new thing that I wanted to like try and get good at. Like I like being a beginner because like you have that like as a beginner, and as you start to get more proficient, you start to have like the whole like, oh, if I spend enough time on this, I can get good at this.
Mm.
And like
Mhm.
it's like that feeling of wanting to get good at something is like really exciting to me.
Yeah. I
Like
love
that
that feeling.
yeah. What
I
about
have
you?
that. Huh?
Did you pick up any like hobbies or anything? Like are you golfing now?
Yeah. So actually, I picked it up a little bit before the pandemic started,
Mm.
about like half a year before that, and then it was actually kind of nice because I got to golf a lot more because like the only thing open in Oregon was like the golf
Mm.
courses, so we got to golf a lot.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I love that feeling of yeah, it's like even if you know you're bad, but like, you see your improvement and stuff, and you're just like,
Mm.
oh, I'm getting better and better at this thing. It feels so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's or do you have a handicap or anything, or have you just
Ooh,
started?
I
I don't have a handicap.
I
I'm
don't have
like,
a handicap either. Like I literally just started, but my best round that I shot so far was like a 92. So not that great, but
92, dude, that's
yeah.
awesome. Breaking 100 is the first step, dude.
Yeah, but like I usually average about like high 90 around the 100. I
Oh,
think I've
okay.
only got on a course about like 5 times ever though.
Oh, that's actually so good, I think,
Yeah.
dude. Because like I've been golfing a bunch, and I still average around like the high like hundreds, not high hundreds, but like just above 100. I would say I only broke
Mm,
100 like a couple of times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when the time I mean I've broken 100 like I think a couple times, but yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of the time when that happened, like things just went right. Like that's all I can describe it. It's like, you hit a shot and it's like, oh, you might not hit it where you want it, or like you might hit it fat, and then you're like you leave yourself like an extra like 50 yards away than you thought you would be or something, or like you slice and you got to like save from that. Like at that time, like that wasn't happening. Like I was hitting the fairway like every single time. So it's like
Oh
maybe,
yeah, that's a nice
yeah,
feeling.
that's probably the most important thing. But I don't know. It's kind of fun to try to hit those like aggressive golf shots or like for saves and stuff. I don't know. Like to me, that's more
Yeah.
fun than like, okay, I have to hit the fairway, I have to hit green in regulation, and I can two putt max. Like, yeah, like that's like a lot of pressure in my opinion. Like I'd
Yeah.
rather now I just like to go out and have fun.
Mm.
But I think the thing that I should do if I want to increase or like, lower my score is rather than aiming for the pin on like the farther approach shots, like I should just aim for the center of the green and hope for the best.
Mm.
Because like
That's a
especially
good
if like,
one.
the pin is like tucked in the back, you hit it long, then you're in the rough, or if it's like a close pin, in the front of the green, like usually there's like a bunker nearby, and it's like, that's like a
Yeah.
lot of,
Oh yeah.
yeah, just hitting into a hazard is never a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard not to go for the pin though, right? Because you're like, oh, what if it goes really good and then you got a birdie
Yeah.
putt, right? Or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, like, I trust my iron swing. It's just that, like, my problem is like I think my weakest part of my game is the 40 to 80 yard range, like that
Oh,
medium distance, like those half swings, not quite a full swing. Because,
yeah.
like, yeah, my lowest loft club is like my sand wedge. I don't even know what like degree it is or anything. Like I don't play with a lob wedge.
Oh, okay. So you have like a
Yeah.
56. It's like roughly a 56, probably somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
something around there. So yeah, sand, but I actually really like long irons. I know that's like
What?
crazy.
That
Yeah,
is
for like, us higher
interesting.
handicappers, but like I feel very confident hitting like a 3 iron like on my second shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like
actually so good, like to have that confidence.
And then like I've been kind of working on like stingers and stuff because like I just don't like hitting into
Oh,
the I don't like hitting
stingers.
into the wind. I just like if I can like just stay under the tree line most of the day, like I'm pretty happy.
Hmm.
Because like
Um,
especially on like those windy days, like you never know. Like I don't know how to read the wind well enough where like, if it's a really windy day, like, oh, now my ball is like, 30 yards further to the, right.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
Yeah.
if you slice into the wind, like, oh, good luck. Like, you're not going to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
that must be much, it must be a lot bigger of a problem in Hawaii too, because you guys get a lot more windy days.
Yeah.
Because I like
Yeah.
hardly play in the wind up here in Oregon. Like
Hmm.
the few times we do, I just my ball goes absolutely nowhere. Like we had a par three, it was like 130 yards or something. I was like,
Hmm.
it's a little windy. I'm just hitting this 9-iron, and I like hit it really good. And you just saw it went up, like good ball flight, and then it just got stuck in the air. I didn't see it
Yeah.
move, and it just landed straight in the pond. And I was like, that sucks.
Yeah. I hate when that happens. It's like, oh, I think that was a good shot. No, like there's just too much going on.
Right.
Usually the wind and everything. But yeah, I don't know. Like I want to get better. It's just that I feel like I'm at the point where if I want to get better, I probably need like lessons.
Mm,
Yeah.
they're so helpful.
Yeah.
Golf is so expensive, dude. It's like
It is. Cause like
it's so ridiculous.
anytime you step on the course, you're already looking at paying like, close to $50 at the low end for like around, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then like over here, like the municipal courses are like impossible to get on because everybody's trying to get on. And then like even like the private courses or like the semi-private courses, like those have been getting harder to get on too since like Hawaii opened up tourism to I think 50%. So like now we have to compete against the tourists. So but during the pandemic it was awesome. Like you could just like call the date in the morning of and you could get on for the most part.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, like now, what I heard was Royal Kunia was booked out all the way to July.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, which is
Holy.
crazy.
Is it that nice of a course too, or is it just because
Well,
it's crowded?
I think it's just because it's crowded, and it's like I think
Oh,
that course isn't like one of the more pricier courses. Like, I mean, you could,
oh, okay.
yeah, like there's some really expensive courses here, like
Oh
Koalina or
yeah.
like
I can
Turtle
only
Bay.
imagine.
Like I think Waialae only has like 500 club members at any given time.
Is that where the
Like the
Sony Open is held?
yeah, where the
Yeah,
Sony
okay,
Open
okay.
is. And
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
god.
I hear it's like almost impossible to get like a membership there because like everybody's trying to get a membership there.
I heard it's crazy expensive too. Like it's at least in the tens of thousands of dollars or something.
Oh, I don't, I,
Or
I
is
don't
that
even, I
completely
don't think
wrong?
I even want to know the cost because I'd probably be like discouraged, like, oh, maybe golf isn't for me. Just stick to like pick up basketball or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Have you
Right.
been playing any basketball as of late?
No, not really. Um, I had a friend. He was from he. We went in high school together. We played basketball a lot, but he moved back to Hawaii about a year
Mm,
ago. So he was kind of the one that got us all to play basketball a lot.
hmm.
But so now I don't really have anyone to play basketball with as much.
Was it
Uh,
in Oregon? Is it like outdoor courts or are there a lot of like indoor gyms or whatnot or like covered
I
courts?
think it's like more outdoor, I think. But
Oh,
there's a couple indoor, but like it's like pretty crowded if you do go there.
uh-huh. How
Because
does
like
it compare? How does it compare to the outdoor courts like in Hawaii?
oh, I mean, it's like the same. It depends where you go. Some of them are
Yeah.
nice. Some of them are like a blacktop, and they just eat up your ball
Yeah.
and your shoes, and you just never want to
Mm-hmm.
play there again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
yeah,
have like two beater shoes that I've been using for outdoor. Like one is like an older LeBron model. Like that's like flat like a pancake, no tread, like the balls of my feet. But like the cushion's still there. I already know I'm gonna tear it in like one or two more like ball sessions. And the other ones are like Curry's that I bought from Ross's because I forgot, the shoes. And I needed shoes right away. So they're like a half size too big and they just feel like clown shoes.
they
Yeah.
get the job done though.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I don't know. I'm not that I don't know. The games aren't that I guess hard where it's like you have to try your best. Like above all, like I'm just trying to have a good run, get the blood flowing, not get injured.
Mm, yeah,
Um
I know injuries now, especially because like we're like what 26, 27 now, and it's
yeah.
just you don't heal as easy as we used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've dealt with a lot of injuries in my lifetime already. Like my most major injury was from baseball. I had like a strained rotator cuff where I was out for an entire
Oh
year. So
no.
like I already
That
I
sounds
already had
horrible.
experiences with like, injuries and stuff where it's like, you know, don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a
It's
lot of injuries, like sprained ankles many times. I had a strained hip flexor and I was out for like a few months from that.
oh, it's so actually I really like running now. But
Mm.
so I started to ramp it up a lot during the pandemic because there was nothing to do, right? So I
Hmm.
really wanted to run. And then I strained my hip flexor and
Oh.
it's still bugging me like 6 months later. And I went to PT for it and everything, and
Uh-huh.
it's so finicky and I just can't get rid of it.
How did you strain it out of curiosity?
Um, so I felt it. I think I ran up a hill really hard, and then
Mm.
the PT told me it was just like it was probably really just used already from the increase in mileage, and he said just
Right.
that little sprint probably just pushed it over the edge and kind of messed with it.
How many miles a day do you run?
Uh, back then I was trying to do like 2 miles, and
Okay,
then
that's
every
good.
now and then I would pick it up to 4 or 5.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
now
used
it's
to
like, huh? Oh, go on,
Oh,
go
sorry. I used to run a lot too. Like I've been kind of sort of trying to get back into it, but no.
on. Did you do
Yeah.
cross country
No,
in
I
high
didn't.
school?
Like
Oh, okay, okay.
in high school, like I don't even want to say I played baseball. Like I just sat on the bench. Yeah.
Hey man, you're on the team though.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
on the team.
doesn't count unless you play. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, what if it just felt bad for me? But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm always like my own worst critic, where it's like, what if I was just on a team because the coaches or whatever felt bad for me? Like, I
Oh
don't even think they
no,
really cut
no, no.
anybody. So
Oh,
I
you're
don't
there
know.
for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, carry like the team equipment.
Nah, man, I think like that too sometimes, man.
Yeah, like what everybody was calling like Eric Spoelstra when LeBron was there. But he proved himself last year in the finals. Like
Yeah,
he
dude, that
got
guy's
back there. They
he's good,
proved they came out of nowhere and ended up in the finals. Like that was crazy.
right? I was so surprised. I really
Yeah,
thought they had a decent chance too, but you know,
yeah. I don't know.
whatever.
I like their team though. Like I don't
Right?
know. I like them. I think they're my favorite team out in the East right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, like favorite in a sense of like, like fun to watch.
Yeah,
Because like
like
Bam's
Jimmy
fun to watch.
Butler
Yeah, Jimmy
and
Butler's
stuff.
fun to watch. Yeah, they got a bunch of shooters. Like Hero's fun to watch. Then they pick up Oladipo. Yeah, I think they picked up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I feel like all the teams are like pretty crazy. I mean, look at Brooklyn. Like, talk about star power.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get
Yeah,
over that, dude.
yeah, it's
And
crazy.
like even LA, like LA's stacked. It's
Like,
like
which LA, the Lakers or the
honestly, both of
Clippers?
them are kind of stacked.
Yeah,
Kind of
and
ridiculous.
you hear all the rumors about Curry might go to the Lakers.
Are you serious? That's no
Yeah,
way.
there's like all these
That's
like league sources, whatever the hell that means, that like LeBron's like trying to recruit Curry like super hard.
if
That'd be
that
crazy.
happens, that's
I would like to see KD and Kyrie versus LeBron and Curry.
that would be sick to see.
That'd be like
Yeah.
fun to watch, but we'll see what happens, like whenever it comes to LeBron or like the Lakers, I feel like, that's when like trades or whatnot would get like vetoed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody hates LeBron.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like, man, I hate that how good he is. Like, you just gotta respect him because he's so
Yeah.
good. But it's like, damn it, why are you so good at this game? Like, give other
Yeah.
people a chance.
Yeah. Are you a Portland fan?
Yep, gotta be,
Mm,
man.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're doing okay. Looks like we're gonna make the playoffs, but man, we don't look too great.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I do like the team, but I feel like they need help in
Right?
comparison to like all the other teams. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know if like, they can keep up with like, the Lakers or even, Brooklyn or
Oh yeah.
Clippers or
Definitely not. It's like
yeah.
Dame can only do so much, and I really like CJ. I have his jersey and stuff, but sometimes he just doesn't play that good of a defense, and he's off, and
Mhm.
you know,
To me, like he's like on the same tier as like Chris Middleton. Like they're like in the
yeah,
they're like all-stars, but like, it depends on the year whether or not they'll make it in or not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're still like, the top like what, like 30 players in the world, but
Mhm.
yeah.
It's
There's
not
just
enough
like,
to carry a team.
yeah, it's not like the
To,
top like 5 in the league where it's like, yeah, you definitely want to build your like team around these guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like even like, yeah, talking about like, Milwaukee and everything, like I don't know like if the Bucks can really like keep up with like all the new like super teams in the East.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I don't know. I predict that Giannis will probably like move on from the Bucks, which would be sad for them. But
Yeah, I definitely don't see him
yeah,
like staying there his whole
I think
career.
I think he had too many chances already to win it there, and like it's
Mm,
just not gonna work out already.
yeah,
Yeah, and
he's
like
he's still pretty young though. Yeah,
yeah, he's like really
like
young. What is he like 24?
yeah,
Something like
something
that.
something ridiculous for how good he is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. Like,
right?
but basketball is like one of those weird sports where like an injury will change the series, or
Oh yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Like the Golden State Warriors, they just like they
Ride
went
or
from
die
top tier
Currys.
team to something just because like all like three of their
Yeah,
stars got injured and holy shit,
that's
that's
like
all they had.
crazy. I mean, it's like crazy that like Curry has all those like records just in that 1 month alone for like all those like threes. It's like wow, that's crazy. But then he has to like if they're gonna like if they want to make the playoffs, like he's gonna have to score like 40 points a game.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because like everybody's out. It's crazy. But I think it's nice that now he's showing how good he actually is. Because
Yeah.
everybody was saying like, oh, like he was just riding KD, or like, oh, like without him, like, oh, he's only good with like Clay and like Draymond, and but now that he's
Yeah.
like taken over, like it's wild.
Yeah.
Like he I don't think he's gonna win the MVP just because like how the voting works. Like he's not the best player on the best team, but
Yeah.
I think there's a strong case to be made there.
Yeah. I really like Curry. He's good. But
Who
yeah,
do you
like you're
think?
saying,
Who do you
the
think the MVP will be?
I really don't know. I don't think I've watched enough basketball this season
Uh,
to like make a
I
judgment.
just watch highlights. Like I feel like you get a
That'd be
lot out
good.
of highlights. Yeah, just highlights, not any of those ESPN like shows or anything. Like I don't know.
Dude.
I don't like it when they break it down. Like what the hell is a breakdown? Like I've watched the game. Like you don't have to tell me what I just saw.
Dude,
I don't know.
ESPN is kind of trash.
Yeah.
No,
Or
no.
like Fox Sports. I don't know. I don't really watch sports commentary. I actually don't even like watching sports. Like I'd much rather get out there and play.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather play. Like much rather get on a court and shoot around. Much rather get to like a driving range and hit some balls.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
Yeah. Speaking of golf, is kind of boring to watch.
Boring. Yeah,
I can
if
watch it, but it's a little dry.
yeah, the only thing about golf I can watch is like those highlights on like on Instagram where like you just see like a nice golf
Oh.
shot. Then like you
Mhm.
see that and it's like, oh, I'm that good, like I can be Tiger Woods. Like I can drop my ball like 3 feet from the hole from like 200 yards out
We
into the
wish,
wind,
right? We
a
wish.
dog leg left. Like, no, I can't do that. I'll, yeah, I feel like one of the nicest shots I hit though was like I sliced it on purpose to get out of like under the trees, and then I couldn't believe it. It
That's
was but I don't know. I
that,
hit a lot of lucky shots. All the people that I golf with say that like I hit a lot of lucky shots, but they say everything I do is lucky. Like I play basketball with one of them, and then like anytime I do anything in basketball, he's like, "Oh, that was like a lucky shot." I'm like, "Oh, okay, come on." I'm beating you every time today. Like I don't think it's luck, but
yeah,
okay.
it's a skill, man. One thing or another. Luck is a
Yeah.
skill too.
Is it?
Better to be lucky, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, so you're just golfing right now? Like you're not doing anything else? No other hobbies or anything?
Or I guess video games. I mean,
Video games?
golf, run a little. My
Mm.
housemate has his own gym now. Like we have a garage, and he bought a squat rack, some
Oh,
weights and
nice.
stuff. So
Have you
work
been
out a
lifting
little.
too?
A
Oh.
little bit, but
Mm.
no, not as much as college. In college it was so easy. just because like the gym was right there.
Mm-hmm.
You were working out a bunch in college too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working out now. Like, I'm fortunate that I have a workout gym now. So yeah, I'm living in Manoa now at my grandparents with my cousins. So like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Nice.
Nice.
it's almost like dorming, but not really. So it's been kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly not lifting with enough intensity as of late for like gains. Like, it's kind of just been maintenance.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's how I feel too. I'm like, 'cause I
yeah.
don't feel the motivation to get like super buff or strong
Mhm.
again. I just want to feel a little bit healthier, a little bit better about
Yeah.
myself.
Well, I mean, for me, like, I do two-a-days most days of the week. So I'll lift in the morning, and then I'll either run, play basketball, or go to the driving range in, like, that evening or after late, afternoon. So, and then, like, especially since now that things are so like slowly starting to open up, like, I've started to, I guess, take that a little more seriously. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I want to play well, even though it's just pickup. I don't want to like
Oh,
I don't want to be like so exhausted where like I feel like, oh, I might get injured or something.
mm.
Yeah.
That's good though. It sounds like you're being super active. Like,
Yeah. What I find helps a lot, and I know it sounds like a sponsorship, is like I have a fitness tracker. I use one called Whoop. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. WHOOP. So it's like a subscription based like fitness tracker, but it's like one that like all the like, oh, not all, but like most of the like professional athletes use. Like, I think Patrick Mahomes uses it, LeBron uses it, I think Aaron Rodgers uses it too. Yeah, there's like,
hmm,
I think like maybe Mike Trout might be using it too in baseball. Yeah, there's like there's like elite athletes all over like that use it.
damn,
Um, yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the
really?
information that it gives you is like pretty valuable. Like, I feel what I find is like it gives the most detailed like sleep data as well.
You
Sounds
must
good.
like that kind of stuff too. You're right. Like,
Yeah,
don't
I
you
mean,
like all
well,
having all the data and stuff?
yeah, I mean, I'm into like biohacking. Like, I've been trying to figure out, especially since the pandemic, like what works best for my body. Like, what supplements should I take? Like, what diet works best for me and everything. So, but like I've tried like everything. Like, I've tried carnivore. I've tried like, those intermittent fasting and everything. And
Mm.
I feel like I have like a good idea of like what works for me. And I wish that I spent more time trying to figure out what works for me like earlier. But I
That,
feel like
that-
now I'm doing, pretty good.
that's the most important thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
go find out what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to like tell you about like what I do. Like, so when I wake up in the morning, I usually like make like a coffee, and then I'll throw that coffee in ice, and then I'll drink it with like 2 scoops of protein. So that's already like,
Oh,
50 grams of
interesting.
protein ish or so.
How is that? Coffee with protein
Uh,
powder?
well, I
Protein
mean, it's
powder?
it's chocolate protein powder, so it's like it's almost like
What?
a mocha.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
I'm
like
actually kind of
so
down to try that. Sounds
yeah, so
good.
that's what I've been doing for the morning, and that'll be like my breakfast. I know, like, people are probably like, that's not a good breakfast. It's like, not enough carbs or whatever. But yeah, what I find is that my body it needs carbs, but like not a lot. So what I try to do is like I'll try to limit my carb intake to about 1 scoop of rice per meal. And that's like
Oh, okay.
all the carbs for that meal. Um, Protein right now, like I just try to hit like 200 grams a day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then fats, it's like, yeah, you need fat, but like that's generally what I'm doing right now.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's good that you got it all like calculated out. I don't
Yeah.
even, I definitely don't do that. I just like
Yeah, and I'm like on almost every like vitamin and like Mexican supplement.
Mexican supplement.
Yeah,
Why is it Mexican?
I don't know what they are. I just take them. No, I'm just kidding. It just says that they're from Mexico, so I like calling them Mexican supplements.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
No, but it's like, yeah, it's just like a multivitamin. I take krill oil because like krill oil is supposedly more bioavailable than fish oil.
Oh,
And
that's good
then
to know.
it's supposedly is like a natural source of like the astaxanthin, the bioactin thing that people in Hawaii are kind of obsessed about. There's a little bit of
Oh,
that.
interesting. Interesting.
I take a lot of vitamin D. Like, I'll tell people how much I take, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's way too much." But I don't know. I feel okay on it.
You
It's
still need vitamin D with all the sun you're getting in Hawaii.
well, I mean, like,
And
yeah, but I mean, my day consists of me just like for the most part sitting in my room, work like on my computer like this. So it's like
mm,
how much sun am I really getting? Yeah,
That's
I don't
smart.
know.
I should be taking those, man. Like during the winters, Oregon has no sun, or
To me,
Portland has no sun.
that was like the craziest thing. Like when I moved to Nebraska during winter, like all these people were getting like, depressed or like, depression, like those winter depressions or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Seasonal depression, I think is what they call it. And it's crazy because like it happened to like somebody I knew over there, and then he just got prescribed like a high dose like vitamin D, and he was fine after that.
Oh, oh shit.
Crazy.
Was he from Hawaii?
Yeah,
Were they
from
from Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Oh, I guess like
Yeah.
that change. Yeah, that's
With no sun, and then like it's cold and you don't want to leave, like, be indoors.
yeah. You're away from your
Yeah.
family too for the first time in your life.
Oh, I was happy about that.
Dude, me too. I
Yeah.
always just put it out there, like having your own space. Even I mean, we were dorming with people, but
Right.
still not being with your parents felt good. And then
Yeah.
I got a house, or like me and my junior and senior year, me and my friends got like just in that little house near
Hmm.
school. That was amazing. Just having your own room, doing what you want with the place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it brings back good times.
I wanted to live off campus my junior and senior year. Like I was supposed to I wanted to live like off campus with like, some of my friends. Like I don't know if they listen to this podcast. Something tells me no.
Well, you'll
But
find
yeah,
out.
yeah, I'll find out. I wanted to live with them, but then my mom just gave me a hard time. She was like, "Oh no, like, I'm not gonna help you out if you're gonna live off campus." I don't know. She thought I was gonna like party
uh,
too much or something. But jokes on her, I partied a lot on campus.
that didn't matter, right? You can't take the party out of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, part of the reason why I wanted to get away was like, I don't know. My I didn't have the best like home life growing up, and it was like the first time I felt like how somebody my age should have felt, and I kind of just went a little too overboard, and I feel like I'm paying the price now.
It's good to
Grad
experience
school.
it though, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was certainly fun, but I guess like, real life is starting to catch up, and it's like, oh, what am I gonna do for a living now? Like I have to be a little more serious about like, getting finances out in order and everything. It's like, do I want to have my own place in the future? It's like I'm gonna have to figure out like, oh, what career am I gonna have to afford a place that I want?
Mm,
Yeah.
man, it's rough, right? Like,
Uh, I don't know. It's I don't know. To me, it's like kind of exciting because it's like I don't know what's coming next, Like I mean, there is like the fear aspect of it where it's like, the uncertainty is a little, stressful. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I just feel like a loser because I see all like my friends are like, oh, I'm already like in my career. I've been in my career for like 3 years now, and like I'm making bank. And here I am, like, finishing up grad school. And then yeah,
everyone moves at their own pace, huh?
yeah, I know.
Because
It's
that's
it's
it.
just
Yeah.
it's just that like voice in my head of me being like, my biggest critic and everything, where it's
Mm.
like, oh, it's very easy to compare yourself to other people, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, I have like high standards for myself and I'm not meeting them, so like that in a sense like bothers me.
No, I
Like
get what you mean.
yeah, I'm not where I thought I was going to be at 27 years old.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like when I felt the same way after I finished my undergrad because
Mm.
it's just like the people you surround yourself with too, right? It's like they're all doing well, and then like everyone had a job, or they all chose the right major, so
Mhm.
or the major they wanted to, and that's why I was like the only one going to grad school, and it's like
Um,
everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm already starting paying off my student loans and stuff, and it's like,
mm.
well, I'm making more for myself, and then
Mhm.
all this kind of stuff. It just gets in your head, right? Like you're just like, oh man, like I should have done this or should have done that or something. I could have had like this much more money or something. But
Yeah, I don't.
we all end up in the same spot at the end of the day.
Yeah, 6 feet under. No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
Yeah, no, not that. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I just had. I don't know. I always felt like I was always like a overachiever, and then like now it's just like, why am I doing all of that? Like, why was I trying so hard? And it's like, was that something I really wanted to be doing? It's like how sustainable like is it? Like
Oh,
even
gotcha.
like now, it's like you know, 4 years now, like I've been pre-med or like, you know, thinking with the plan to apply to med school and get in. Now it's like I don't know if that's something I really want to do. And that's like that was like the one nice thing about the pandemic. It was kind of like a pause on life where you could, in a sense, like take a step back and like I guess reflect on like, is this the life I want? Like panning out, like
Mm,
looking like maybe 2 years, 3 years in the future, like is what I'm doing now or at that time, like is it gonna be like what I want to do?
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah. Because like part of me is like I don't want like a traditional job.
Mm.
Yeah.
You want to express your creativity kind of
Yeah,
thing?
or like be like your own boss, like create something for yourself. So like as a physician, I
Oh,
guess that would
okay.
be like owning your own practice or something, right? But like
Yeah.
I understand that that's not until like much later in like, you know, a physician's career. There's like, you know, there's 4 years of
Oh,
med school, then you have, you know, your residency, which is like, you know, years as well. Then you have like, you know, often have like fellowships or whatnot. So I'm looking at like at least 12 more years of like, you know, education.
oh
Like
man.
and I'm just looking at that. It's like, is that really something I want to do? But then like the plan I was like thinking of was like, hey, you know, why not try to get into a med school where there's like some like a small or like a big like, you know, comedy scene and see if I could do that like, you know, at the same time. See how far.
Oh,
Kind of do
yeah.
like what Ken Jong did.
I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds so familiar.
he's the what is his name? David Chow or what the Hangover guy, the Asian guy in the Hangover.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's so easy to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
Leslie
definitely at
Chow.
least.
Leslie Chow is his name in the movie. Yeah, that's right. So like yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Like I don't know. I like comedy. Comedy is like a good way to like in a sense like deal with like difficult times in life. And it's like yeah, during whenever things are rough in life, like you want to be around funny people to in a sense like make light of like the hardships in life.
Yeah. It helps you
Yeah.
forget, or as well, I like the
It's
comedy when it's like depressing state, just because it helps you forget about why
yeah.
life is so depressing sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
Well, I mean,
bad as that sounds.
yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I kind of, in a sense, like, got into comedy because, like, a lot of things happened. Like, my parents are divorced. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but like, I had cancer like once upon a time.
Oh my God, no, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. So I had testicular cancer once upon a time. I'm debating editing this out, but we'll see. But
Oh shoot,
yeah, so yeah, I lost a nut, and then I was making like a bunch of squirrel jokes.
oh okay. Whatever works.
Yeah,
Those are pretty.
yeah. Like,
That
I don't
actually sounds.
know.
Actually,
I
it's
have
fucked up, but it sounds pretty funny, honestly.
I mean, I'm making jokes about myself, you know, and I notice that like a lot of people don't like the self-deprecating jokes, but I feel like I do it so it allows me to make like the more wilder jokes. Because it's like
Mm,
I feel like as long as your jokes about yourself are worse than like the jokes that you're making about somewhat touchy subjects, like
yeah.
yeah. Like I
No,
have
no, yeah, I 100% agree. Like, you know.
yeah, I have like a bunch of premises for jokes that I'm trying to write and yeah. They're they're definitely gonna upset a lot of people if I don't deliver it right.
You
Like,
just got to find the right audience.
oh well, yeah, that's like a thing too. But it's like I don't I want to be good and be able to make like a variety of people laugh. Like I would like to do things here, but I feel like in Hawaii, like like local humor is very different from like you know the humor on the mainland,
Mm,
more mainstream like humor,
hmm.
like you know stuff on like next Netflix specials or whatnot. Because like
Always a
local
different
humor,
beast.
I think local humor, one of the funniest like local comics right now is a guy named Tumua. I don't know if you've ever seen some of his
Mm-mm.
stuff.
Have
Yeah,
not.
so it's just making jokes about like local life and you know like
Oh,
with like you know the pigeon English and stuff like that. And like that's what a lot of people in Hawaii find funny, right?
yeah. It's so
Yeah.
different in Hawaii. Like
Yeah, it really
a
is.
lot of things.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how was it moving back? By the way, because like
Mm,
Monica and I always wonder because like we eventually want to move back, especially if we start a family, kind of stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah.
every time we're just like, like you remember this about Hawaii? We kind of don't like it. Or, you remember like, oh, groceries are super expensive. Oh, we can't do like just drive somewhere anymore,
Mhm.
And the mindset is different.
Well, for me, like moving back, let's see, how did I feel at the time? Yeah, so moving back, like, I don't know, it just felt really awkward after graduation because like I didn't I didn't really have like anything lined up. At that time, I was waiting to hear back from Creighton's grad program. So I was like, oh, like I'll just go back to Shirakia because that's where I would work like during the summers or if I ever came back home.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh yeah, they're opening up the new location on where it is now. And they're like, hey, can you come back and help? And I was like, yeah, sure. It's only temporary though. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. You can leave after the summer. But then like, yeah, during that summer, I found out I didn't get in. I was like pretty devastated, felt kind of down, felt like a loser. Cause like a lot of like my friends from undergrad were like, oh yeah, I'm going to like, JAPSA, I'm going to Creighton for like med and everything. Or like friends were like, oh, I'm going to PA school or dental school or PT school or, you name it. And then here's me. It's like, well, fuck. Like, what am I going to do with my life? So like I think I was like more concerned about that than like what was like going around me. But like moving back, I don't know, like I don't want to like say it in a way where people will get offended or anything, but I feel like nothing really changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like I mean, there's like more buildings and stuff, but like the lifestyle for the most part was like the same.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Or I
And
mean,
then
I haven't moved back, but I think that's true. Probably might
mhm,
anger people, but like
yeah.
it's just like it's the island, right? It's like what more
Mhm.
can you do? It's the same weather, same stuff. Like
And then like one thing that like surprised me was like, oh, here I am, and like I feel like I growed and changed a lot as a person, having lived on the mainland for 4 years. And then like I go back, talk to people from the past, and then like they're essentially the same person as they were, at Project Grad the night we
mm,
graduated high school.
yeah,
For better or worse.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
like
like
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, it's like, maybe it's because they knew what they were in high school and just like stay true to themselves, or I really don't know. But that's like
yeah,
the one thing I noticed, that like, yeah, some people are very much the same person they were like, 4 years ago. And even like today, like now that we're almost like approaching our 10th year, like, since we graduated high school, it's like, yeah, I know a lot of people are
that's
like,
crazy.
wow, like they're still very similar to how they were like, way back when.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be wrong too, because like, there's only like a side that you choose to show people. And maybe that's just how they choose to want to interact with me.
yeah, that could be true.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like there's that. I mean, like other than like, all the buildings up in Kakako and whatnot, like, yeah, everything seemed like more or less the same.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
like
I
it's
mean, I really can't complain, like I'm not really in Hawaii. Like if I were to want to live here long term, it'd be because, Hawaii would be a great place to like have a family. Like,
right.
you know, I know like Hawaii gets a lot of like shit for having bad schools, but I don't think the schools are that bad.
Yeah, I agree. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like I
we
don't
turned
think
out great.
I don't
Yeah,
think public
yeah.
schools are that bad. And if you're really worried about it, just, pony up and send your kids to like Yolani or Punahou or
Yeah,
something.
Barack Obama's alma mater.
Yeah. I heard it's like 25 grand a year now.
Oh my god,
Like
I can't even
you can
imagine.
buy a new car every year. We're sending one kid to Punahou.
That is nuts.
Uh,
I mean, I talked to my friends, some of my friends from Punahou, and they're like, it's like the connections you make there,
yeah, that's what I've
and I'm like,
noticed too.
right? Because some people like go to Punahou and they ended up the same career as you, but like they're
Yeah,
like,
I
oh
mean,
yeah, I know people in this like high tech companies, or like
uh,
you just could have said you knew Barack Obama or something, like
mhm.
like
Yeah, like, yeah, I have a lot of friends from Punahou that I made because I went to Creighton, so that's been kind of fun. Like,
mm.
yeah, and I noticed that like, oh, what, your uncle is that person or whatever, or your dad is who, or like, That's crazy, you know? Like,
I
but
know.
I mean, I don't know. The way I'm not too like starstruck or anything by it. I'm just like, oh, you know, it's just a fact of life. Like that's so and so's dad, you know, or so and so's uncle or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not too surprised about it anymore. Like, I mean, certainly like back in the day, like I used to think, oh wow, you know, like oh, I'm uncomfortable meeting like this person, but like I don't know, as I got older, I started to realize, oh, you know, they're human too, you know, they're just do a different thing in life. And like that's all it is. Like they're still very much, you know, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
But
get. I have to work on that because I still like. I even if I don't do it like consciously, but like I would treat people different if I know. Like my manager, you know, like I just like I just act so nervous around them.
mhm.
Or if I knew, like I was like, oh, this guy's like a governor, I probably would act so weird. I'm trying to get rid of it, but man, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm trying to just be like more comfortable with myself.
Mm.
Is like, you know, the goal I have for myself, you know, now that we're going into our 30s. Like, I don't know. I definitely feel like I was an awkward kid in that regard where it's like, oh, you know, maybe I need to like act like a special way because, you know, I'm around like a parent. But then now it's like, you know, I'm an adult too. You know, I can just, you know, casually talk to like a friend's parent, you know?
We're all in the
I
same
don't know.
boat now, right?
Yeah.
Age doesn't really matter anymore.
What blows my mind is like, you know, there's some parents out there where I feel like, wow, you know, they act just like, you know, some high school kids that I know.
Oh, I know what you
Or
mean.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like there's some people that like never leave high school, in my opinion, like mentally.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
they're still very much into like, you know, interpersonal dramas and whatnot. Like, I don't know. I'm just not trying to be involved in that. And I'm just like, you know, maybe some people just never really grow up, or like nothing really happens in their life that forces them to change, I guess, their way of life for better or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I liked the fact that like we moved away at least for 4 years or a few years
Yeah.
going to college abroad.
Mhm.
Things are so different, especially like the biggest thing for me was that we're like a minority. We're actually a minority in the US, and
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
feel that when you live in Hawaii because it's like 80% Asian. But like
Yeah.
when you go, like when I was in my classes in college, it's just like, I'm like the only Asian guy in there. It's
Oh,
it's interesting, right? It's just such a different feeling.
I thought a lot of people from Hawaii went to UOP.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few, but
How
some
many?
classes you just don't get any.
Oh, how many? Do you know how many people went to University of Portland from your class? Like as a freshman, like
Yeah,
how big was your class of people from Hawaii? Because you guys have a Hawaii club too, right?
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not crazy big. It's not like Pacific's one is huge, right?
yeah. Because I think for Creighton we had like 65. I want to say from Hawaii our year.
Okay, yeah, I
I
think
don't know
ours
if
is
that.
more.
I don't know if that's more or less than what you guys had, but
I mean, University of Portland's really small, right? Like our graduating class was only like 1,000 or
oh
something.
wow,
So
yeah.
I think the amount of Hawaii people was probably like 30,
Mm.
maybe probably less.
Yeah, because I think Creighton's is about there too. I think the undergrad population is about 4,000, like 1,000 per year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but like, yeah,
Who
the
knows, right?
people just knew that. Oh, a lot of people from Hawaii go to Creighton. Like that was just like the thing, you know. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, you're from Hawaii, and like everybody would always ask, like, why would you go to Nebraska if you're from Hawaii? Like, why would you ever leave Hawaii?
I get that asked so many times too.
Yeah,
Like even in the work setting now, they're like, "Oh
yeah.
yeah, oh you're from Hawaii." Like, "Oh, why'd you move away from that place?"
Yeah. My response is like, I don't know. Like, why do you live here? If this place is so miserable and you're talking about Hawaii, like why do you live here? Oh,
Just put them on the spot. Yeah.
yeah, turn it back on them. I'm super sorry. I have to like use the bathroom.
Oh no, go dude, go.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Have you
But what?
seen Ryan Higa's podcast
Um, I listened to it
or
like in the
listen? I guess.
first few when he was first starting, when like they were
Okay.
trying to figure everything out. And honestly, okay, that's funny that you mentioned that because like that was like the first like time I thought, huh, maybe I should make a podcast. And like looking back, I kind of wish
Oh.
I started earlier, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was like back in the day when it was like just like going. Everyone was like trying to jump on the podcast. Yeah, back then.
Um, I say
Or
that's like
that
now.
or that
Like
now.
Yeah, I feel like now, well, I mean, now I think they say there's about like 1.5 million like podcasts or something.
Oh,
So that works out to almost like one out of every 300 people will have like a podcast in the US.
wow. That's
Yeah.
actually insane. What?
Yeah. So I'm probably the one. Yeah. Do you know anybody else that has a podcast?
No, actually, I do not.
Oh,
That's why I was so interested. I was like, "Oh, you're starting a podcast? That's crazy." I
yeah.
was like, "That's so interesting. I want to listen."
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I, I've been told that I'm the inspiration for a bunch of other people starting their podcasts. Like one of my friends, Weston, he has a podcast about sports betting.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I guess
That's a
like
good one.
him and like his co-host. I don't remember his co-host name, but then yeah, they just talk about like who to bet or who they would bet on and whatnot. And like
Nice. That's
yeah,
interesting.
but I think they only do football. I think they were doing like hockey, but I don't know. Hockey in the US is weird to me. I don't know.
I don't watch
I
much hockey.
yeah, I feel like hockey's only big if you're like, in Canada, like East Europe, maybe like Russia or something. But
Yeah.
like in the US, like you have to be pretty much, a state or city that's bordering with like Canada for like hockey to be big, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I think Portland has a team, but I don't hear anyone talking about it.
oh yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those
I guess,
sports. It's weird.
yeah. I guess going back to like, the whole like college talk and everything. Um, what was it like moving from Hawaii to Oregon? Like, was that your first time up in Oregon, or you vacationed there before going to University of Portland?
Um, I was there a couple of times because I have an older sister, yeah, and my
Right,
parents
right.
took her on a college tour.
Oh, okay.
So we went to like probably a bunch of schools in California, Oregon, and Washington. So
Oh, okay.
and I just remember Oregon being really nice. Like it was really pretty because we went during the summer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like pretty much lived like one summer up in Oregon.
Oh, you
Uh,
did?
yeah, so like I think it was like in middle school, like it was like a extended vacation where I was living at, or yeah, we stayed at like my uncle's place in Gresham. I think it's like
Okay.
one of the suburbs of Portland or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little far out from the city. Like not too bad. Like maybe like 30 minute. I think.
yeah. So I was there, and then like we just went all over the place. Like drove all the way down south to like Crater Lake. Um,
Oh, Crater Lake's
went
amazing.
Yeah, it is. Like I guess that was the first time I saw snow in person. Like granted, it's just like, whatever, like, stuck.
Hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. I didn't want to count it because it's like to me, like snow is like falling. To me, it's
Yeah.
like it's just ice on the side of the road, Like I could have went to like Wyola, bought like a
Throw-
plain shave ice and throw it on the ground and be like, oh look, snow, I don't know.
Oh, you definitely got your snow in Nebraska, that's for sure.
Oh my God. That's when I realized that I don't know. I don't know if I want to live somewhere where you're gonna have to like shovel snow. Like, and it's just so to me, like the snow wasn't too bad, but in the Midwest, like you have to deal with the wind. Like it's so
Mm,
windy. And like in Nebraska, like everything since it's like a plain and there's no like geographical like features like a mountain to like protect it from wind. Yeah, like so pretty much whatever like weather like Minnesota got, like we got it like like a day later or so.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, so like
At least you could predict it, I guess.
it was just so cold. That's all I remember. And like it was really funny. Like Creighton used to ask me to like go speak to like the new students or like the prospective students, but then I would just talk about how cold it was, and then they stopped inviting me back.
They're like,
Oops.
no, you're supposed to like hype us up,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, like I'm gonna be honest with them. Like I do tell them like, yeah, it's good. Like it's fun. Like you're in the Midwest, and you're literally smack dab in the middle of like the country.
Yeah.
You can literally drive almost anywhere. I think it's pretty much like what 3 hour flight to like either coast. So it's like it's not like a
Oh,
bad
yeah,
location
I
in
guess
that
so.
regard. But like, and it's nice because like if you like to road trip, it's so in the middle. Like Kansas City, I think is like what 2 hours away. I don't remember 2 3 hours
That's
away.
not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, what is that? Like Denver, I think is like 8 hours away.
Oh, that's a little bit worse, but
Yeah.
that's not bad. Yeah, you
The
can do that.
furthest, yeah, the furthest we went was like Oklahoma City, and I think that's 13 hours away. Yeah.
That's a
So
road
like,
trip.
yeah, but that was fun. Like that was, I mean, I got to see like Katie and Westbrook play.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
that's
they played,
100% worth it.
yeah, and then they played against the Clippers, and that was when like Chris Paul and like Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan were there. So that was like a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
And then like,
NBA
yeah,
games are just a different thing, right? When
yeah,
you see them in person, like compared to
yeah.
TV, it's so much better.
The players look way more athletic in person than on TV. Like
Yeah.
if you're
Oh yeah.
impressed from like sports highlights, like I can only imagine being there like present. Like
Mm.
even like from like nosebleed seats, like those cheap like $20, $30 seats on like what like StubHub or whatever. Like even like from there, like it's still like a good enough view where like you can see like all the action.
Yeah, and the crowd, like you just can't beat the crowd. Like all the
Yeah.
emotions going on, everyone's
Mhm.
cheering. Oh my
I think
god.
that's like everything though. Like I've noticed that for even like stand up. Like I've gone to like, a few sets and everything, and it's always more fun in person versus like, watching a Netflix special or like watching like a clip on like YouTube or like Instagram or something.
Mm.
Like there's just something about the crowd that makes the event.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So much better.
Mhm.
And like I can't wait to go to festivals again. I love EDM music.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Which
been
ones
a
have you gone
while.
to?
Um there's a small one. It's called Night in the Feet. It's in the gorge where Paradiso is. Yeah,
Mm.
it's like somewhere in Washington. Then I've been to Freak Night a couple of times. That was really good. I went to the Freak Night. I think it was like their 40th or something, and then it had
Oh.
like Martin Garrix, Zed,
Oh, wow.
Galantis. Yeah, it was like such a
Wow.
good lineup. It was amazing.
Yeah. I've never been to like a festival, but I think I want to make Tomorrowland my first.
Tomorrowland. That would be
just
so
just yeah,
sick.
just start at the top.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I don't know, I like the stage, like that like steampunk look that they often like run with. Like I don't know, it's like kind of cool in that
yeah.
regard.
It looks so epic, right?
Supposedly that's the only festival that's happening this year, right?
Oh, is it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I saw that they had planned to still have Tomorrowland this year. And then like I know that like a lot of people are like, oh my god, I gotta go because like it's like there's like no EDC this year, right? So
Oh, there is one called Imagine. I don't know. I think it's
mm.
somewhere on the East Coast, but that one's happening. That one has a decent lineup.
Oh, okay.
But it just makes me feel a little uneasy still, with
Mm.
the pandemic.
Are you vaccinated?
I actually getting my second shot tomorrow.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
yeah,
Which shot did you take? Or are you
Pfizer.
getting Pfizer? I took Moderna. I got my second shot last week.
How was it?
Uh,
I always
it
hear,
was
with the worst symptoms happen with
for
Moderna.
me. For me, like it wasn't too bad. Like okay, so for the first 12 hours, it was just fine, like, arm soreness because, at the injection site. And then I'd say about 12 hours in was when I started to feel like slightly feverish. Definitely had a lot of body aches, definitely had a headache, and then like some
Oh,
mild chills. Um,
oh man.
but then like it just got progressively worse. And I'd say at the 24-hour point, like I was like dead. So I spent like the next 2 days like in bed because like it just felt like a really bad case of the flu.
Hi.
Yeah. But which is weird because like it was very reminiscent of how I felt last year when I thought, oh my God, maybe I could have had COVID. But I didn't have like the loss of smell or taste. So I didn't know for sure. But then I got sick and then like I was just fatigued. Like I don't know if it's from stress or anything or from like, COVID if I had it. But like, yeah, I just was very fatigued for like, like a long time after. Like I'm talking like, like a month or so. But then like,
Oh,
yeah, but going back to the vaccine. So like 24, and I'd say at about like 36 was when I started to feel a little bit better. And then I'd say about after like, you know, 48, like, yeah, like I still wasn't like working out or anything because I felt bad. But 48 was like, oh, okay, at least I can like walk around and go to the bathroom comfortably. Like, because in that first like 24, like the 12 to 24 or 12 to 36, I mean, like that was rough. Like I felt like, really sick.
oh my
But then,
god.
Yeah.
Rough.
But then I'd say like because I took it on a Wednesday afternoon, and I'd say by like Friday evening, I felt okay-ish. And then like by like Saturday, Sunday, I was like, oh, everything was back to normal for the most part.
Oh, so is that your second shot?
Yeah,
Or
that
was
was
your
the
first
second
shot?
shot.
Oh,
The
okay.
first, did you get any symptoms from the first shot?
No, I'm lucky. I
Yeah.
think I felt fatigued maybe the next morning, but I don't know if I
Mhm.
was just tired because it was a Monday or.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna see. I always heard the second shot's a little worse, so
Yeah. But I had
we'll see.
Moderna, so everybody says that it's worse, but I don't know. I think
I think
but
it depends on the person or something.
what I think it is too is like a lot of people might be having it might be like psychosomatic for people, meaning that like, oh, you hear that, oh, you're supposed to have bad symptoms, so like you kind of in a sense like the nocebo effect where it's like, oh, now I'm gonna feel worse because it's
Oh,
supposed to make me feel worse.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I do that to myself a lot.
Yeah. Like what do you mean?
Like self-diagnose, right? You're like, oh, I think I might
Oh,
be sick, and you're like, oh, do I have that too? And then you think you have it.
do you consult Dr. WebMD a lot?
Oh yeah, that's my
Oh,
favorite doctor.
yeah. How many cancer diagnoses have you have so far? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, like WebMD is like so wild. It's like, oh, you got like a cold, and then you look 3 down, and you might have stage 4 cancer.
I feel like cancer is on every single symptom. Like,
Yeah, seriously. I guess they got to cover their base, I don't know. But it's not even like meant to be used by like, average people. I don't know.
oh yeah,
Like
is it?
I think for healthcare, like people are just better off going to like, your PCP or like, like an
Yeah,
urgent care or something, and letting like a specialist provide like personalized medicine for you.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I
Yeah.
always try to go to the doctors.
That's
It's a
good.
pain in the butt, but
Yeah.
rather than getting it wrong.
And then it's like if you want any medication, you kind of have to go to like a doctor, right?
Yeah. And it's like you gotta
Yeah.
trust these guys. These guys like spend at least like double digits in schooling. They know their stuff.
You hope they know their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not very
I don't
confident.
know. I mean, no. If you can get through med school and you can pass all your boards and everything, yeah, I think you're good. I think you'd be a good doctor, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So you're talking about like potentially moving back to Hawaii. What about Hawaii do you like where it'd be something like, favorable to like have a family, like you were saying?
Uh, Honestly, probably the main point is just our families there. That
Oh, to help.
free childcare.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of it. Like I'm trying to think because like we're gonna get married next year,
Oh
and then it's
shit.
like, but like I'm just trying to think like, oh, if we have a kid, it's like,
Mm,
who the hell is gonna watch this kid, dude?
yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, do we have to pay like for a nanny or something? It's like ridiculous amount, and it's like we don't have that money. It's like,
hmm
call the parents and be like, oh, parenting round 2.
It's
Come and
it's
get
like
it.
that. It's like that Bruno Mars song, right? The new one, the Silk Sonic. What you doing? Oh,
Oh yeah.
where you got? Oh, you got plans? Don't say that.
Yeah, that would be the main thing. And Hawaii just
Yeah.
seems like a nice place,
hmm
always sunny. Like, we talked about before, the schools aren't that bad. I think the schools are
Yeah.
fine.
Would you send your kid to a public school?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Kalani,
Me,
same route you went or
yeah,
different
I
route?
think I think I turned out okay. My fiance turned out good.
Yeah.
You turned out good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The more I think about it, it's like maybe it's up to the student.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But
Like,
maybe like if your kid needs extra help, maybe it can't hurt, to send them to like, Punahou or something.
yeah, that's my parents felt that way with my brother
Mm.
because they just felt like, he was a really big troublemaker and they just didn't
Oh,
want him to like, I don't know, like do drugs or something. So rather
yeah.
than sending him to like Roosevelt, they were like, let's just send you St. Louis. instead.
So you could do drugs over there instead. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
right. I was like, I don't know if that was the best decision.
Yeah.
And then they're like looking at me, and I was kind of like goody two shoes. I didn't take like the
Yeah.
risks, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can just go to Kalani, you'll be fine."
Yeah. To me, like the joke I always had is like, oh, as a parent talking to like, my spouse is like, oh, kid number one is like, oh man, he's like a troublemaker. Gotta have to like, worry about him in the future. It's like, oh, kid number two, what a little bitch.
It can never be perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'd be making jokes about my kids like a lot if I were a parent.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna mess with
Yeah.
them so much.
How many kids do you want
I'd be good with 2, I think.
to?
I don't know what the fiance wants, but you never know.
Yeah. I want a basketball team. Just kidding.
Yeah, dude, I would joke about it because I used to play League of Legends a lot.
Oh,
Like, I want 5 kids, the pro esports team, all in the family.
yeah. What is that, like the Jonas Brothers of like League of Legends or something? Yeah, that's crazy.
I
What?
want my kid to be a pro golfer, and then
Oh, so
I'll
you're gonna
just follow him
Tiger Woods
around.
treatment? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Why? What about? Was there anywhere else where you could see yourself like relocating to, or would you stay in like the Portland area to raise a family?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind staying in Portland
Mm,
either. I just grown accustomed to it. And it's like, it's not as busy as Seattle or LA yet.
yeah.
And it's kind of chill. And I think I'm just so used to Portland. I'm just like, yeah, I'll stay here.
Mm-hmm. You said that you guys road tripped and stuff. Like, where did you guys go?
Oh man, do I have a story for that?
Oh,
It was
okay.
our senior year. We wanted to go on a road trip. We wanted to go to LA. Like we all were just gonna go
Oh,
LA, Disneyland kind of stuff.
yeah.
But we're like, oh, it's kind of we need a car down there first of all, and
Right.
then we were like, oh, it's kind of expensive to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone's like, why don't we just rent a car in Portland and drive all the way down to LA? And first, all of us are like, oh, that's a 16-hour drive. That doesn't sound too bad. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
then we literally finished our finals or finished our like, midterms, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
went home, packed, and we left at 5 p.m. that day. And we drove
Uh-huh.
nonstop for 16 hours all our way to LA.
Did you guys like alternate drivers or was it just
Yeah,
one
yeah.
person driving?
We alternated drivers, but
Oh,
oh my God, that was terrible. Like, I never want to do that again.
because how many people were in your car?
There's 5 of us.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
So man, like it was cramped, we were like all trying to sleep because it was at like
Yeah.
midnight and stuff. And it was like the funniest story is like some guy, he had like the night shift, he was just driving and he took the wrong exit for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, I'm just gonna make a U-turn, guys. He didn't realize he was still going like 30, 40 miles per hour. And he fucking just turns the wheel like 180. And we're all just like trying to say, like, fucking like all crash our heads into the windshield and shit.
Damn, that's wild. Yeah. Yeah, you got to really figure out like who can drive and who should not, be on driving duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I realized too is like that's just too much people like in a car where literally every seat is taken up. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it's part of the experience of college where like, you just pack up a car and go. But it's like now looking back, it's like, ooh, I don't think I want to do that again.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah, because
Never,
like I
never.
remember like, you have like, your everybody's sitting with like, your bags on your laps and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So, like it's like so stuffy in there and like you're just cramped in a car for like 8 hours. I mean, can't even imagine 16 because like when I did I think it was only like 8 hours and I was just like, wow, this is worse than an airplane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's
It's
like,
not
oh yeah, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to be the person to say I have to use the bathroom to get us all to stop and everything. And
right.
it's like, oh, now I'm hungry. It's like, and then like I don't know. Like, I don't know how the drive is from like Portland to LA, but like when we were driving to like Oklahoma City, like, all you have is like those truck stops, with like, Carl's Jr. or whatever, like
Oh.
Subways and stuff, or like McDonald's. I'm like, well, these are all lame choices. And I don't know. Like, I feel like you guys probably had like a nicer drive because, like, I don't know. I remember. Oh, I guess you're driving through trees most of the time, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of trees.
Yeah.
Once you get to
Or-
the like California part, then it starts like I think it was a little more flat, kind of boring.
yeah.
But there is like if you go along the coast, it's a lot nicer. It just takes longer. And
Mm,
like, there's a lot like Crater Lake is one of the pit stops as well.
yeah. That
Like
place is like super nice.
yeah, so the drive can be really nice. It's just
Yeah.
we were idiots. And like, no, we have to do this in one go.
Yeah.
Did not work out.
Yeah, when we went to Oklahoma City, we stopped in Kansas City, and then from Kansas City made the drive. So that was kind of nice. And I think even on the way back home, I think we might have stopped in Kansas City. I don't know if it was either just for dinner or we stayed the night there. I don't remember. I think it might have. I think we just pit stop there, ate a nice dinner, then went back home.
That's nice. Yeah, on the way back though, we stopped in San Fran.
Yeah.
So it made the drive a little better.
Yeah, I feel like in that drive, like you guys could have definitely spent like some time in like San Fran, then like eventually made your way to LA. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh well,
that's a
so
crazy drive.
you
Yeah,
live and you learn.
yeah, but yeah. Oregon's fun. Like and the time that I was there, went to Crater Lake, went to those caves.
Caves.
Yeah, there's like caves in Oregon. Like I don't
Oh,
remember what they're called.
I probably didn't do it,
Yeah,
but I
but
wouldn't doubt that there is.
yeah, there's like these caves there. Went up north to what is that? Like what is that called? It's like this Ghirardelli, I think. Is that Ghirardelli?
I think
I don't know.
Ghirardelli's the San Francisco one, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's something spelt like that or something. But it's up there, and then like it's where people go like crabbing and like clamming and stuff.
Oh, okay. My housemate would probably
Yeah,
know. He loves that shit.
yeah. Like that was kind of cool. Went camping in those like yurts. Those are kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those like
I did
little
a
tent
lot.
things. Yeah, I mean it was like an entire summer up there, so like there's a lot to do. It as if like I lived up there for like a summer.
So you
It's like
probably you've done more than me, and I've lived here for like 8 years.
it's just crazy. That was like the first time like I was like, whoa, the sun goes down at like 11 p.m. Like this is weird.
Oh, that's the craziest thing, right?
Yeah. Like
Oh my
that
god.
was like for me like the trippiest thing where it's like, oh, it's like 10 p.m. and the sun's still out.
Hmm.
And then like in that 1 hour or whatever, it just goes down so fast, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
pitch black in an hour. I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like the first time I experienced that, and I was like, whoa. But I thought it was kind of cool because like it gives you like extra time to like go out and like do things.
Yeah, it makes you so much
Yeah.
happier too, right? Like it was really nice.
What else did I do there? There was, I mean, I went to like Omni or whatever, that museum. That was kind of cool, I
Oh, yeah.
guess, as a kid.
Anzi.
Yeah. Went to what is that? Bojangles? Is that the amusement park up there?
Yeah, I think so. I've heard of it,
Yeah.
definitely.
Went there. That was kind of cool. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, man. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely more than me.
So other than LA, like where else did you guys go?
That was about it. We just went there, went Disneyland,
Mm.
California Adventure, ate, Korean barbecue, just explored a little bit.
Do they not have good Asian food in Portland? Like
It's
Korean barbecue, sushi, stuff like that?
it's okay. I think there's a decent amount of Korean food and like Thai food.
Mm.
I haven't found much good Japanese food, but
Mhm.
yeah,
What's
it's okay.
what's the Asian population like? Like in Nebraska, there was like a lot of Vietnamese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I think it's
Mm.
mainly Chinese, Korean, Thai.
Um, yeah. For
I don't know for sure though, because I don't get out enough. Because like
yeah.
I think on the east side of Portland there's a big Korean Asian community, but I just don't know what they
Mm.
mean by Asian. And then
Oh.
where I live, I think it's mainly like we have a lot of like Korean restaurants open, a bunch of like Thai. So I'm assuming that's the majority, but you never know.
Mhm. Is it like I don't know, how's the Korean food? Like is it like,
Oh, Korean food's
people's
good.
home, is it like home style like cooking, or is it like Peppa's type of thing?
It's like home style. So
Oh yeah, that's how it was in Nebraska too. Like this
yeah,
one lady, oh man, she had super good Korean food.
yeah.
I don't miss it. But
And the only reason why I say it's good too is because my housemate is he's Korean. He was adopted, but he's Korean. And he's been to Korea a lot of times and tried all the food there. And he says that some of these food is really good in Portland.
Wow.
So that's why I say it's good.
That's cool. Yeah, but that's crazy that like Japanese isn't that good. I mean, I know that like, you know, for sushi, they don't really eat raw, like wild caught salmon, but like it's just weird because like it is like kind of on the coast, right? And like, yeah, it's like you guys have access to more fish than I'd say like, you know, Nebraska.
Yeah, or so I think we do have decent sushi. Like there's some places that have it, but I was talking more like an izakaya or something. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I think our sushi is really good, or you know, it depends where you go, right? Like anywhere, but
yeah,
like I haven't really found like a good place like that gives like, you know, really good like a tempura or I don't know, like a donburi or something.
Yeah. How are the poke bowls up in Portland?
Oh, actually, you know, some of them are so good.
Oh, really?
They're
Because
just hella expensive.
I just hear all these horror stories about like people from Hawaii trying to get poke bowls on the mainland. Like when the last time I was up in Nebraska, I was like, okay, there's a poke bowl place here. I have to try it. And can honestly say I could have lived my life without that experience. And perfectly fine.
Yeah, some of them are pretty bad.
Yeah. It's like weird because, well, I want to say weird, but it's just funny because like aesthetically it looks very Instagram worthy, you know, like you want to take a picture of it, but if only it tasted as good as it looked like. Yeah.
Nothing, you know, it's not like Foodland.
Yeah. Is that your go-to place when you come home for poke?
Yeah, I would say like go-to cheapest / easiest to get.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like for fresh poke, like I don't know, maybe it sounds bougie, but like I only like to eat the fresh poke. Like I'm not really a big fan of like previously frozen like ahi.
Oh, I could see that. I mean, like,
yeah,
that makes a big difference, right?
Yeah, the texture is just so off to me when it's like previously frozen. I guess I want to maybe not off. Like I don't know. For me, it's just not for me. Like I'd rather choose something else to eat at that point. But like, yeah, it's like almost $30 a pound for like fresh ahi poke.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I remember I thought it was ridiculous when it was getting to like $16, $17.
Yeah.
And now it's like even crazier.
Yeah, now like I used to think, oh, you know, $18.99 a pound, like, ooh, that's kind of like, you know, pushing it. But now it's like 30 a pound. I think last time I went to Foodland Farms, I want to say it was $28.99 a pound.
Foodland Farms, man, that's some bougie. That's a bougie place.
Well, I mean, like it's all I don't know. I think it's all the same. I think like the difference between Foodland Farms and like regular Foodland is that like the different types of produce that they have there for the most part. But like for the most part, everything else is the same. Like what I've noticed is like they have a lot of more organic type foods, almost like a Whole Foods type of deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what my parents would tell me.
Yeah. Because and you know, I don't know, groceries in Hawaii is expensive. Like
Dude,
that is like one of the biggest things that I've noticed like moving back to. Like everything's just naturally more expensive here, like, you know, from gas to like, you know, like a gallon of milk. Like gallons of milk here now are like almost $10 like a gallon. Just shy.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
You're
like,
lying.
If you go to like Safeway and you buy like a gallon of milk that's not on sale, you're gonna be spending at least $9 for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No,
that's why
I'm
just
not
gotta go
back.
to Costco. No, you just gotta go to
I'm
Costco.
never moving back.
Like I do all of my shopping from Costco. Like it'd be cool if they sponsored me, then I never have to buy groceries ever again. But then like, yeah, I think Costco a gallon of milk is like $5.49 a gallon.
Ridiculous.
So, like,
for reference for anyone that's listening, is like my gallon of milk is like $2, $3.
Nice.
For the good shit.
I mean, not that I drink milk, but like
that's so ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
$10.
Yeah. What I'm starting to think is like, you know, eating out might not be much more expensive than having to cook and prepare your own food.
Oh yeah, my housemate's not from Hawaii, and then he went there and he's just like, he said the exact same thing you did. Like, I see why people go like McDonald's or L&L or something. It's like,
yeah, it's
just as much.
Well, I mean, plate lunches nowadays, like you're almost never gonna find a place that has a plate lunch under $10. Like, whenever you eat out, unless it's like a fast food place, like I expect to spend at least 12 to 15. Like Zippies, it's about $12 for like a late lunch
Oh,
now.
don't even get me started on Zippies, dude.
Do you miss
That
Zippies?
no, that food is literally the same, and I feel like it has smaller portions, but they
Yeah.
charge you $5 more now.
What's your go-to order at Zippies?
What was it? Oh, I like their burrito plate with
Okay,
chili. Yeah, I think it
that's
comes with
different.
chili.
Okay,
That one's good,
I
dude.
I I appreciate that you didn't say Korean fried chicken because
Oh,
like whenever I
everybody
ask,
loves it.
yeah, whenever okay, honestly, like hot take, it's overrated. Like it's not even that good. Like I think there's much better places. Like you could go to like Mitsuken for like garlic chicken or something, or
Mm,
like Sugoi's or something. Like I don't think Zippy's is that, great. I think the chili is, the chili is nice. It's
yeah,
not as good. I like the mainland style chili better, I think, because I don't know. I like
yeah,
spicy food.
me too.
Yeah. But I mean it's good, like it's solid. Like, I don't know. Like it's to me, Zippy's is Zippy's. Like it's not anything special or anything. It's like
It's just nostalgic for me at this point.
yeah. So if when was the last time you were back home?
Oh, it's been a couple years, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like if you were to come home, if you're on a flight right now and you land in an hour, where's the first place you want to eat?
Probably Foodland. I'll probably get a poke bowl from Foodland.
Really? That's so funny.
I don't know
What
where else I would
is
go.
what do you get? Is it like what kind of poke? What's your poke when you go to Foodland?
Oh, I like their shoyu one.
Oh, show you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's honestly my least favorite poke.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't really like spicy ahi poke. That's why, because like I'm not
yeah.
the hugest fan of mayonnaise.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't really care for Foodland spicy ahi poke either. Like I only like the spicy ahi from Tanioka's and Fresh Catch. But Fresh Catch is
Ooh,
as
fresh
that's
catch.
yeah, at the same time,
Or
Fresh Catch is like a little bit mayo-y too and like sauce heavy for their like spicy ahi, but I like it. I always tell them to add extra spice.
yeah.
Yeah, you know. But
Oh man. That's the other thing is like Hawaii. I feel like other than the local food there and the Hawaiian food, like
mhm.
the other types of foods aren't as good. Like I don't think unless places have opened up, like the Mexican food, like on the mainland is so good.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like amazing food. And then there's other like um there's like Swedish food we've tried up here, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like
What
all
is
this other
Swedish
types
food besides meatballs?
of they, so
In
funny.
Swedish food, you're not talking about like IKEA, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
So we're actually where our wedding is gonna be is this at this like Swedish place kind of thing because they have a nice outdoors thing, but we have
okay.
to cater through them. And they
Yeah.
have like Scottish eggs, just like a bunch of like brunch foods too.
Mm.
Like they just use different like types of cheeses, different meats and stuff
Oh, is
without the rice, right? Like there's no rice.
yeah. Is it like potato or something?
Yeah,
Oh, would you say that's
some
your
stuff.
favorite European style food?
I
I
guess
mean,
so.
it
I
sounds
haven't
like
tried much
it
others.
sounds
I haven't
like
tried.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Like
good.
I don't know. I like German food. Like I know that sounds like
Ooh,
different.
that sounds good.
Like I don't know about how it is in Portland, but Oktoberfest used to be pretty good in Omaha. Like pretty big. They
Oh,
used to have a bunch of like, bars. There is like a German style bar and like they would always have like an Oktoberfest and like all their food is really good. Like the bratwursts were good. And then like they probably had like a roast chicken that was probably one of the best chicken dishes I've had in my life.
oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it
Roast
was
chicken,
amazing.
dude.
Like I miss it. Like and then like I don't understand Oktoberfest. Like somebody needs to go back to Germany and tell them, "Yo, Oktoberfest should be in October, not September." Yeah.
You can go tell them that.
Yeah, it's just like oh yeah, it's like Oktoberfest. You know when it is? You know when it is? Like take a guess. It's like, "Oh, nope, you're wrong. It's in September." I don't know. But
There must be some reason for that. Who
I
knows?
think the reason I heard was because it was like it's like a harvest festival.
Oh,
You're harvesting all of like the fall fruits, so like your squashes, your pumpkins, and whatnot, and that's why they have like the pumpkin beers for like
Oh,
Oktoberfest. Yeah. Are you big into
interesting.
drinking like beers or like whiskeys or anything? Sake,
Yeah, I like I guess beers. I don't
beers.
drink a ton, but like Portland has beer
Yeah.
fest a lot. So I like to go to
Mm,
those. There's like Portland's huge on their craft beers.
yeah. What is that? Is that still like IPA country, like Seattle?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like IPAs. Like, I don't know. I like bitter flavors. Like, I drink my coffee black. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I love coffee.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite beer so far?
Favorite beer, huh? Oh, so actually it's this one I recently tried. It's a smoothie beer.
Smoothie.
Might have been like, so you see a bunch of those beers, right? And they're like, oh, this is a milkshake IPA or something, right? And you're
Yeah.
expecting it to taste pretty good, like a milkshake or something, but it tastes nothing like it, right? It just tastes super
Yeah.
bitter, like an IPA. This one actually was like pretty sweet. Like it actually almost tasted like you're drinking a smoothie, and it was really good.
Smoothie IPA. Wow, that's wild. I,
Yeah,
I
it's by
can't
like
even like
Notion Brewing.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love going to breweries, like, just like trying like different beers. Like, I don't know. I like just taste. I like new experiences, and like to me, like food and like drinks are like an experience.
Oh, you would love Portland. So many places have
Yeah.
like their own little the flights. You get like five different
Right, right,
beers and
right,
stuff,
right.
and their food
Yeah.
is usually bomb. So,
Mm.
but
Might have
yeah,
to
I
make a
get
trip
drunk.
up there one of these days. Yeah, since I haven't been there in years. But
You
like,
should
what's that?
definitely come
Sorry.
for a beer fest.
When are the beer fests typically around?
Usually like soon to like just summertime, but
Oh,
a
summer.
bunch are canceled, right, because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like, those are fun. Yeah, you just have your little cup and you just go around like giving like, oh yeah, I'll taste this one.
Uh-huh.
You get super drunk super fast
Mm-hmm. No,
because
yeah.
Hawaii has some, right?
Hawaii has some, but I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of like a lot of the local breweries. Like, I mean, I like Beer Lab. That's probably like my go-to place for like a local, brewery. But like all the other ones are like, I don't know, they're not special to me. Like
Mm.
they're pretty plain. Like they don't really stick out from the rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Have you
like
tried a Maui Brewing Company?
Maui's okay. Yeah, I've had a bunch of their different stuff and like I think they're okay.
Mhm.
It's cool that they're local, but would
Yeah.
I would I be willing to pay the premium for a
Oh,
local?
they're expensive.
Yeah,
They
it's like
are
that.
expensive.
It's
I
like
like them, but yeah, it's like $12 for a 4 pack sometimes.
yeah, for like yeah, for a craft beer, like it's not really my favorite thing to
Hmm.
like, pick up. Like I like right now, like for IPAs, I like something called Space Dust by Elysian. It's like a Seattle-based
Oh,
brewery.
yeah, we have those here. I've tried it. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really strong. And like I don't know, I like the complexity of the different hops that they use.
Oh,
Yeah, because
have
like
you ever
see,
tried making your own?
uh, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I always thought it'd be cool. Like oh, it'd be cool to like own your own bar, or something, or like
I could
make
see you
your
doing
own
that.
beers and everything. Yeah, there's like all these things I would want to do, but it's like you only have one lifetime, and it's like, what do you? Yeah, kind of have to like prioritize. Okay, what do you really want to do? Because like you don't want to spread yourself too thin, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and like yeah, making a beer would be cool. I would have to learn a lot. But then it's like goes back to the whole conversation about golf earlier where it's like you start to realize oh there's a potential to get good at something,
Hmm.
which is like
Mm-hmm.
fun. So it's
Yeah,
like yeah, that'd be cool. That's a good one. There was another one from Hop Valley that I liked.
I've heard
I
of that
want
one.
to I think it was called Alpha Centauri, but like I never see it anymore. I
Huh.
don't know. It might have been like a seasonal beer that they had, but I'd say those two were like my favorite IPAs at the time. Oh,
Uh,
it's funny that you talked about like making beer because like one of my friends who's actually getting married like in November, he's a brewer for Goose Island.
Goose Island.
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of
like
it,
one of
but
the
cool.
I think Anheuser Busch, one of those like craft beers under
Oh,
Anheuser Busch. So that's
uh-huh.
kind of cool. Like he was pre med, and then a chem major, and then he found that, and like he's loving it. And it's just like, I'm really happy for him. Like I'm really happy for when, I find out that any of my friends or anybody that I know is like doing well in life. It's like,
It's always nice, right?
yeah, like it's always nice to hear of like stories like that. It's like, oh, like I had these plans, but something else happened and it's working great. And it's like, I don't see myself doing anything else, where like it just works out, where like life just works out for people, and then after that they're just killing it. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like motivating or like inspirational in that regard. It's like, oh, whatever, wherever life takes me, something else might come out of the blue, and like, I might find out, oh, I love doing it. Like maybe that's why I'm so into like all these different things. Like, I don't know, I see as myself like not really being an expert in anything, but like knowing a little about like a lot of things.
Nice.
Yeah,
Which is good. You never
good
know.
for good for conversations like this, where you can kind of like talk about almost anything. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like sometimes I think maybe there's value to being like an expert, having
I mean, I could see it going both
specialized
ways,
knowledge.
right?
Yeah, like I really,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Never know.
Yeah.
Your calling might hit you next tomorrow or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, you never know. Or it
You
could
never
be
know,
this.
right?
It could be this podcast. No. That'd be so cool if I could just talk into a mic for a living, but not like a radio station where like, you're working for somebody, but like where you get to, I don't know. That's the reason why I like podcasting, because it's like there's no producer telling you what you should say or what you should talk about or anything. You're kind of just like, it's kind of like whatever you want to talk about and whatever, yeah, and stuff like that. It's kind of
You're your
fun.
own boss.
Yeah, it's like super fun. Like I don't know, I've been like trying to tell a lot of people that have been wanting to do like something creative to like go ahead and try it. Like, you want to start streaming video games, go ahead and start streaming video games. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
Like, you want to start your own
100%.
podcast, start your own podcast. And yeah, there's like a bunch of people I know doing really creative things now. Like, I had like two people that were on, they're both like music producers,
Ooh.
like making like, EDM type music. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I had another person that's like a videographer, and like, he makes like, film and like other like videos for a living, so that's like super cool too.
Yeah.
Like just hearing of like people making a living doing quote unquote like weird or like different things, like it's like interesting to me. Like,
Yeah. Not the
yeah,
straightforward path, right?
yeah, not like, the everybody I know that's wanting to be like a doctor or a nurse or an engineer or something. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it sounds like I'm shitting on them right now, but I'm really not. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's because of like my experiences in life. Like, my dad was an engineer, and then like I knew at an early age that wasn't for me. And
It's
then
not
it's
for
like being,
everybody, right? Everyone's got
yeah,
to choose their own thing.
but
Everyone has different likes.
it's not a bad deal though for a 4-year degree, and then you can make that much money coming out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get
like
paid
that's
good amount of money.
for a 4-year degree, like that's the way to go. That in nursing, I'd say,
Oh, nurses make so much money, dude.
Yeah.
And they're always
Yeah, they
needed because
do.
you always need healthcare.
Yeah. At least for now. I'd be curious to see like what innovations happen in like medicine next. Like
Yeah.
it'd be crazy if there's like a bunch of like Baymaxes walking around
Oh
providing
my
healthcare to
god,
people.
that would be crazy.
Well, I mean, that'd be cool
Cool to
too,
see though. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool that like it's more accessible to people. Like, I always had this idea where like if I got into med school, like how could we automate medicine? So I was like thinking, oh, like for skin diseases, what if you could create like an AI to like diagnose skin diseases? Because like a lot of like skin diseases are like, pretty typical, like, acne or like eczema and stuff like that. And like you can just have like somebody take pictures in their own home, and then, submit it to like, the software or the AI, and have the AI, in a sense, like set everything up for you. Like, oh, for the physician, we think it's this diagnosis, so look into that. Or like if it's like a special case where it's like, oh, you really need to find a specialist, you can like
Yeah.
help that patient get into contact with a specialist.
I feel like we're not too far off from that though,
Yeah, because
honestly.
I heard
We're
that they're
really
doing it.
close.
I heard that they're doing it for X-rays, but I hear that like it's a little different for like color recognition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like X-rays is just like strictly like contrast images, right? Like black and
Yeah.
white. So like that
Mhm.
might be a little bit easier for like a software or AI to like recognize. I don't know. I don't know much about like AI research and everything. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, it's insane, right? Yes,
Yeah.
people
Would
that
that be
made
something
that.
you'd be interested in doing?
I was interested in it for a little bit, but I mean, I learned about it and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's pretty intense. Like, if you want to
Mhm.
make a difference in that field, you need to be like like a doctorate in AI or machine
Mhm.
learning or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I would
it's okay.
I'd rather just be like an Elon and hire like people.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, man. I think actually, it's actually been 2 hours and
Oh, damn, I didn't even
almost
realize
time.
it. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, it was great catching up with you. We talked about a lot and it was all over
yeah.
the place.
It was great to hear
Yeah.
from you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Should definitely do this again sometime or something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like anytime you want to come on and like hang out and talk, like you got an open invite, man.
Sounds good,
Yeah.
dude.
All right. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right. Thank you. I'm gonna go make dinner now.